Hello, this is Gordon from TaroWorks, and I'm here to show you the hidden question workaround. A number of you have sent me a question asking, how do you hide a certain question? And this is not related to logic. This is when you have the situation where you want the survey to always pass a constant value into your mapped fields. However, you don't want the field officer to see the questions actually displayed. So it would be a situation like this. So here we have a very simple survey. One section, there will be a question last name. This is going to be mapped into the last name contact. And we have a field called stakeholder. And what we want this to do is map this into the contact description. However, we want the value to be passed to be always homeowner. Okay, let's take a look. So I'm going to start a new job, the hidden question test. And what you'll see is I'm going to input the last name. It's going to be Ninja. You do not get asked the second question. And this is the end of the survey. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to sync. Okay, so that's done. Let's sync. Let's take a look at the contact. Here's the Ninja that we have. And here's the description. In the description, homeowner is in there. So how do we do that? So the first thing you need to do is to build your survey as normal. And you also map it to the fields as normal. So here's the field mapping, as you can see. The very key point is to use the ability to edit the X form. So every survey that you build with all the questions and the logic, they are defined in the X form, actually in a text like this. And this is what gets passed into the device because we use the Open Data Kit. And this code here is called Java Rosa. So you can find documentation on that. And the important thing here is to identify the question that you want to hide and then put in a default value. So let's take a look here. I'm going to break this into sections, and I kept the survey short so it's easier to find it. For a longer survey, you will have to take some effort to go through these codes. So if you have experience with XML or you have experience with HTML, it definitely helps you to read through this code. So first thing you want to separate out is the things that call instance. This is what the information that will be passed into Salesforce when you sync. So look for the section that you have entered. In this case, it's test section 1. And then this is /test section 1, meaning the end of the section. Okay, so once you've found your section, now you can see what you need to do is to find yourself the value. Now you want stakeholder field to be pre-filled. So let's take a look. Here's our last name question and here's our stakeholder value. What we're going to do is to change the tag so that there is an opening tag and a closing tag. And in it, you will type in your default value. So in this case, it'll be homeowner, for example. So now what you're doing here is to put in the form a default value for that question. And if you want to stop here, that's fine. Your question won't be hidden, but at least you'll have the homeowner automatically filled in. Now, how do you hide a question? You need to find it in your form down here. All questions are preceded with the word input. So what you need to do is to find the section in the question and then remove it from the form. So what I'm looking for are the label. Label like this is the question name. So I could see there's label last name and here is label stakeholder. Right? If you're having trouble finding it, use the search function up here. So what I see is I'm going to break this out for you very clearly because it is quite dense. look for section 1, so that's label. So you can see it's broken on section. And then what we're going to do is show you what a last name question is actually like. So this here, this 3 lines, input, label, input, is actually what tells TaroWorks to show you the question. So we're going to do the same, and we're going to show the question for stakeholder. So you can see that there's a open input tag, which tells you it's that feeds into the question stakeholder. Then you have the label, so that's the caption of the question, and then here's the closing tag for the input. So what you're going to do is delete that question and then click save. Okay, once you click save, you need to publish this form immediately. The reason is if you go back into edit and then come back out, all your work, all the edits you've done before will be erased. So whenever you're going to edit your X form, do it as the absolute last thing just before you publish. So make sure your logics are right, make sure your mappings are done, and when everything is set, come back out, click edit X form, and then do the change. It may be difficult if you're new to X forms or never coded in HTML before, but with a little bit of persistence and carefully sifting through those codes, you'll be able to identify the fields that you need to change and then the fields that you need to delete. After you publish your survey, include it in job and publish the job as normal. And there you have it. That is how you would go about doing a hidden question within TaroWorks. Thank you very much for watching, and please leave your comments below or give this a like if this helped you.